Good afternoon, all. CamelbackTrading.org coming to you this Tuesday afternoon, June 1st. We are looking at Window Traders market profile of the SPY, IWM, and QQQ. And on a day that started out with so much promise, very disappointing for SPY and QQQs. Russell, on the other hand, yes, they filled their gap that they had this morning, but they had higher value all day. They are right at that very critical 228.10 level, so they held their own. But QQQs open without a gap, look above and fail, and they get right to the opposite end of Friday's range, go out with an outside day down and a trend day down. And the same with SPY and ES, except theirs wasn't a look above and fail. We had a pretty sizable gap, only to fill it quickly. ABC drove down, then we basically traded sideways the entire day. But we do go out, even though it looks like a B shape. It is a double distribution day. We do end 10 wide. They lowered POC a couple of times. Not a lot, but they lowered it. And we go out with an outside day down. Barely, but we did. The more concerning thing is where we got to this morning on the opening, which is right to the top of a 4-week balance high. So I said this morning's video, everybody's going to be yelling gap rules apply. I say, well, balance rules also apply, and they're just as important. And if this is any indication, when then buyers might have a little bit of an issue on their hand. I'm not going to say one day makes a market. We always say we can't rely on just one day. However, the fact that we failed at the balance high on the weekly, the fact that we stopped one time framing up in the daily after 7 days, and the fact that we have an outside day down leads me to believe buyers need to get their acting gear again sooner rather than later, or we could trade to the bottom of this balance, which is an $18 balance. Had a decent day today, despite fighting the market early today, because I was quite surprised how much we took back. So we gapped higher. I said I was looking to take a short possibly against the all-time high because I didn't think they'd get it the first time. Well, I should have listened to myself. But we didn't really spend much time up there. We opened, got above the opening briefly, and then came back down. That would have been a beautiful short play against it. You know how they like to front run it. I did start taking longs in A and even in B period. 420s in A to 419s in B. And believe it or not, I got to myself some pretty big size in A period against the gap fill, which I did okay because where I started, I didn't buy at the highs of the day. I started as we came in, and then I added size at visual points, which was in A period against the gap fill, which I got some relief from when it went back up. And in B period, it was against the POC initially and against the Friday's low. Didn't think we'd have an outside day down right away. So both times where I got long with good size, it got me to a point to get out of trouble. Basically broke even on them. It could have been disastrous, the size I had. I had over 250 calls in A period, and I got big again in B. So, despite all that, I'm fortunate to have broken even considering where we closed the day. Right after that, though, when we had single prints in C, I started shorting in C period. I scalped shorts in C, did it again in D. So I made money on those. So I was broke even in A and B, made money on shorts in C, made money on shorts in D. Those were nice trades. And then the other trade I took was in H period when we made a new low on the day. Now we had a 6-wide POC. I thought we'd start going back. So I bought 50 calls, and actually each time it pushed up, took some off, came back down, put them back on. I had that play in HI into J. That turned out to be my best trade of the day. And then that was it. I was looking for a short in K. I wanted to see if we got a little higher to value high or even tested the singles. I might have gotten a little stubborn or a little picky, but that's fine. I was right on it because then we rolled over and filled out the bottom of the day's range. Destinations for tomorrow. So, first one on the upside is now our 10-wide pocket, 420.05. Then I'm using K as the afternoon rally high, 420.38. And that's a textbook one with the single prints above us. 420.71, get filled at 98. Not a big set, but still a double distribution day. We'll treat it as two separate days. C's high to the day's low, A's low to the day's high. And then the day's high of 422.72, which is 2 cents lower than the 422.74 weekly high. For the downside, 419.20 daily low. Then Thursday's low, 419.12. 418.79, 10 wide from the 26th of May. 418.44, afternoon pullback low from the 26th of May. And then three lows within 68 cents of each other, 2 dailies and 1 weekly. 417.76 daily, 417.62 daily, 417.08 weekly low. And one other point before we get to the charts. Remember on Thursday, there was a lot of absorbing going on down here. Remember they kept pushing. And I said, man, maybe this is long-term buyers buying it. And then finally we closed at the low, but then look what we did on Friday. Now, it's going to be very interesting to see again tomorrow. Does this outside day down produce more selling and we get below Thursday's low? Or are we going to defend it again and come back into the meat of today's range and Friday's range? That'll be interesting to see. And then on the chart, I'll just show you SPY today. And don't forget, Triple Q's also had an outside day down. So, first day of the month. We never took out last month's high yet, but still, we're very healthy. I'm nothing to worry about yet in a monthly. Weekly. Here's the one you got to be a little concerned about. We took out last week's high. Here's your balance. You could use 4-week, whatever you want to use. I'm using 4-week balance, not including today. The top of it is the all-time high. We got very close to that today. So for my money's worth, bulls need to get their act in gear, because if we take out last week's low at some point at 417.08, we will go revisit that 404, 405 level. And then on the daily, stop the one-time framing up, outside day down. We took out the previous day's high, closed below the previous day's low. Not bullish at all. But now we're going to see if the bears can take advantage of it and try to start pushing lower. Hope you had a great day trading. Have a lovely evening, and we'll speak prior to the opening tomorrow.